Greetings, salutations,
Hey.
guten tag. Welcome to the Unapologetic mic check. I'm your host, Mike, and we have another special guest. He's a good friend of mine. We go back, way back. What, like 09? 2009, college, PIT days. Markus Gray, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure, bro. It's a pleasure. So, what have you been up to, man?
It's working.
Working.
Pretty much.
Working.
Yep.
No leisurely activities? None of that? You just been in the crib?
I'm like trying to get back to the normal world.
Yeah.
Been in lockdown for a year.
Yeah, bro. The thing about that is, like, that
We still ain't there yet.
yeah, that shit about the lockdown, yo. Like, when niggas be like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to right the ship, things getting back to normal. Whoa, pause, no, hold. Nah, things are not back to normal.
No.
It's not.
We got another 2 years.
Bro, I went to this balloon ceremony because one of the young bulls that I knew since he was like here, he got gunned down like 3 days ago, right? So we go there, bro. It was, the turnout was huge. The love was real, bro. Like, you could feel it.
Yeah.
Only a few people were crying, but you could feel the love. Like, there were T-shirts and, I ain't seen people in years. But the one thing that I did notice, which I felt guilty at first about, but then I didn't, is I walked up and I'm like, these motherfuckers ain't got on no mask. And it was hot as shit outside. I'm like, let me go ahead and get my mask out the wheel because I can't take that joint. Like, I can't take the risk, bro. Can't take the risk. I was doing Lyft one time. 3 people got in the car, right? 2 of them had the mask on. The one John just started yammering. Her name was Brittany or something. She was like, oh, shit, my mask. I forgot. In Florida, COVID never got down there. I said, here we go.
In Florida, though. Like,
I said, here. And, mind you, I'm getting paid. So, like, I can't stop the car and be like, yo, get out. Like, get out. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even, I'll just bit my lip. I'm like, So I look at the boy that's in the passenger. So I start talking to him. Like, nah, I don't even want to talk to you. But you will put your mask and your seatbelt on. Like, I don't give a shit if you sitting in the middle.
Put your shirt over your face.
Put your seatbelt on, put your mask on, and you continue to talk to your girl about softball. We ain't conversing now.
Yeah.
She said that shit, and then didn't the other 2 passengers bandwagoned and hopped on with her and was like, oh yeah, like geographically on the map, Florida, it never really hit Florida. I'm like, same place. I said,
what that got to do with like right now where we at?
Right,
We
and I was
ain't
like,
in Florida.
I'm like, okay, so let me get this straight. Y'all telling me that Florida, the birth of the cocaine cowboys,
The cesspool.
bath salts, eating niggas' faces, Uncle Luke, all type of debauchery. You telling me that a virus did not hit Florida of all places? Florida of all places.
They just got coughs.
I said, all right. I don't know where y'all going, but this was from like Mount Airy. And I dropped them off in Center City, bro. That's Lincoln Drive, Kelly Drive, Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Yeah. So he just plagues the whole way.
And there was traffic. Yeah. So, no, there is no normalcy with COVID.
Yeah.
Okay. I got into a not even really an argument. I got into like a heavy conversation with my mom. My mom's a nurse, has been for years, right? Even my mom was skeptical at first. But, they talk in the medical world. And, my mom was putting me to some things that I didn't know. And, I share that information with people. And I'm going to be real, I was going to get the vaccine because of my grandma. She's a cancer survivor. So, naturally, I'm like, damn, I can't even, I don't want my grandma to get COVID because of me and then she died, right? So, when they told me my grandma got vaccinated, I'm like, oh, yeah, bet. Never mind. And I ain't even going to get that, John.
Exactly.
They're like, don't you want it to be back to normal? I was like, bruh, I've had asthma for 32 years. Like, what more is me having a mask on? Like, dog, I put this mask on, I'm straight. Like,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? I done worked in a UPS truck with poor ventilation and having an asthma attack, bro. You think this little piece of cloth on my face is gonna bother me? And I hate y'all anyway, so I'm gonna be in the crib. Like, it don't even matter. I'm gonna do this doing to go to work, be around my students. I'm gonna go home. I can't stand being in the grocery store, bro, because I see people. I'm starting to see an influx of people not wearing masks because they got vaccinated.
But here's the kicker: the people acting like they got vaccinated. That's what kills me, which is why I still wear my mask.
I don't like that either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's almost like when I was in middle school, right? And we used to have Rob, you remember this. Remember Ridley uniforms, the green shirt with the khaki pants, right? People had the option to opt out, right? Now me, I used to finesse. Used to have to get a letter and shit, right? And get permission. I used to tell people like, yeah, I'm opt out. They never researched it though. I went the whole 7th grade year wearing different color polo shirts and black pants because I said I was opt out until the German teacher, her name was Frau Owsley, never forget her. Bruh, she checked me, yo. She checked me one day in the hallway at my locker. First of all, I'm like, how the fuck do you even know where my locker was? You're all the way in another
Gangster,
wing.
that's why.
Bro, she walked up on me and then she was like, Guten Morgen, Michael. You're not even German for real, but hi. Like, she was like, I know that you're not opt out. I said, what? What are you talking about? I am opt out. Where's your letter? Where's your letter from the dean and the principal? I'm like, my dumb ass, I'm like, letter? And she ain't say nothing, though. She just let me know, like, yeah, I know I'm on to your bullshit.
I
Like,
just wanted to put you in your place for a second.
it don't matter. I was still in her class with the different color polos on. Like, okay, you found out I ain't opt out. All right, well, I'm going to sit in the back of your class with this shirt on. Guten Tag, Guten Morgen, Guten Abend. Yeah. I think it's because I got a good grade in her class and she ain't tell on me. But that's basically what this shit with the acting like you're vaccinated is.
I still don't get how they expected this to work because it's like, oh, if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. But I'm like, I don't see anybody verifying people's like vaccination cards when they walk in the door or anything. So I'm like, how are you enforcing something? So you literally give people the option to have bad behavior without checking them.
Yo.
And you expect them to act right.
And I'm not even going to lie, yo. Them motherfucking vaccination cards give me Gestapo vibes.
Yeah.
So you gonna tell me, like, if I want to go grocery shopping, you got some motherfucker sitting outside, like, can I see your vaccination card? Mm-hmm. See, I got a mask on. I don't need no vaccination card. Like, let me in. I need to eat. Yeah. Like, it's just really not. It doesn't seem like a good look for me. Personally, Americans, matter of fact, the whole world is just hard-headed, bro. The whole world is hard-headed. Like, you ain't learned from the Spanish flu, and I hate calling it that, but I kind of don't. This is my fault for not knowing what it's actually called, but they called it the Spanish flu in all of its ignorance. But, yo, with the Spanish flu, the same shit happened. They thought it died down. That shit came back with a vengeance. Yeah. Killed lots of people. And we talking right after the Great Depression. Oh, yeah, it was real depressing. Mm-hmm. Niggas was dropping like flies out there.
Exactly.
I said, so we didn't learn from that. And now we got people out here not wearing masks, you know what I'm saying? And then the audacity, the unmitigated gall of people. They be out this joint sneezing and coughing, and you don't even remember the Dracula joint. You don't even remember that.
Yo, just as quick as when they told you could take off the mask, everybody forgot their hygiene.
Yeah. Yeah, dog. It's
literally went back to normal of, I don't wash my hands, sanitize, and I'm just like cough and sneeze into the world.
Bro, I remember watching like game 1 of the Knicks and the Hawks, and Madison Square Garden was jumping, bro. There wasn't nobody with it. Yo, the only people that had masks on were the players, bro, when they were sitting on the bench. The whole Madison Square Garden was popping. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh yeah, you can feel the energy in there. They panning the camera, and I'm like, I said, damn, they just breathing in the COVID. They just loving it. Mm-hmm. You know, you got people who think it's a hoax and everything else. And my mom said, She was like, so, you're not going to get the vaccine. And she tried to hit me with the guilt trip too. She was like, I don't want to bury another child. And I'm just looking at her with my eyebrow raised like, Ma, I love you, but I could step outside, twist my ankles and fall into my car and snap my neck. Like, you know what I mean? Or somebody could blow a stop sign and take me out. Like, I'd rather not take my chances getting the vaccine and then not die, but get so sick that I'm never the same again.
Exactly.
She's like, but you already got all these other vaccines. So what's your point? I'm like, Ma,
you see how quickly they made that vaccine?
But I said, Mom, I'm not anti-vax. I'm not an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah.
I'm fine with those. I'm anti-COVID vaccine, bro.
Exactly.
Because we don't have enough information. We don't have enough numbers for, return rates on how people are getting better or anything like that. We don't have that. But
and they made the vaccine differently than every other vaccine that's ever been made.
Oh, well, with that, for the past 15 years, they've been they have been working on a way to use the RNA in viruses and other contagions to create vaccines, because what it does is when you attack the RNA, it sends barbs into those cells and it fights it that way. That's why the COVID vaccine was made fast. That's not why I'm apprehensive. It's not why I'm apprehensive. But that's another story for another time. And 1212 is the password. Okay, so
just told the world your password.
It's all gravy, baby. All right, so to tonight's topic is being a business owner, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover a broad range of being a business owner, where people make their mistakes, where people are falling short, what things they should do or should try and do to keep their business afloat, and how to expand when it's time to, or know when to get out when you should get out, instead of trying to save a sinking ship. First things first, you're a business owner.
Yep.
Have been for how many years?
Let's say over 14.
Damn, 14 years. Congratulations, bro.
14 plus years. So
that's good shit.
Since I've been coding, pretty much, I've been doing business. So
that's good. That's real good, actually, because like I said, I went to college with you, bro. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's good to see that, man. Because not everybody's had the mindset of having a business. Yeah. Especially in our generation, in our 20s.
Yeah, no, definitely.
We weren't on that type time.
Yeah.
We just weren't. It wasn't like at 22, 23, I was thinking, you know what? I want to get my own income. I want my own income. I'm going to build my own business. It wasn't until I was like 27 when I decided that I wanted my own business. Yeah. And, there's trial and error, of course. There's the motivation. There's the startup. There's all of that. And what I find with it is, you gotta have the mindset of knowing that you're going to fail at some point. Yep. I find that that's a mistake that I personally made. My business is going on 5 years old soon. And for a minute, I took a break because I made a mistake. And it was a really good idea because no one was doing it. The premise behind it, my whole presentation was good. It's just my action lacked a little. And I made that mistake and I stopped. And it took a lot of planning when I revisited it. It took a whole lot of, I didn't take a lot of notes. I didn't have a lot of pictures. I didn't have a lot of feedback from people. So the little bit of feedback I did get, I mean, it was fuzzy at that point. So, I had to start from the ground up. And, I had to use what mistake I did remember to help me understand what mistakes I'm probably going to make and what mistake I shouldn't make or what mistakes I am going to avoid. Personally, I want to congratulate, the generation that's behind us because, bro, COVID, they were working. Everybody was out of work except them.
Yep.
They knew what an LLC was. They were doing, crazy thing about it is, and this was during like those riots, that while our generation, you know what I'm saying, we were trying to be steadfast and we were trying to be pillars and motivators for those underneath of us and try to be different than the people before us. Man, look, a couple of the teenagers that used to be at the job I work at, they were holding conversations about racial injustice, and just that quick, they turn around and they're talking about owning businesses, growth mindset.
Yep.
It made me think, okay, so what is your standpoint or what advice do you have for anybody that is trying to start a business, and what approach should they take when they're trying to do said business? Because, a lot of motherfuckers out there here, LLC, they read a little bit and they try to make a business out of some shit they heard at a house party or something somebody did at a house party, not knowing that it was probably done before or that not everybody's going to want what you're bringing to the table all the time.
Yeah.
So, they go into it blindly and then they get pissed.
Yeah.
I done ran into people who be like, that's that entrepreneurship. That take too much time, man. That take too much time. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. And I'm looking at them like, so like, how much time do you need, bro? We're in quarantine right now. How much time do you really need? Like, where are you going?
Yeah.
Like, sit your ass down.
Exactly.
And put in the work.
I'm going to start off by just saying, like, the people that survived COVID, their business can survive anything. I'm just going to say that. Because if you found a way to survive through that or even start a business through that, you have what it takes to be a business owner. But when it comes to starting something, first things first, you have to come to the realization that if you're not willing to sacrifice, you're going to fail. Because a lot of people think that, I'm going to start a business and it's going to be easy because I got a product that everybody's going to love. Truth is, nobody's going to love it most of the time, or nobody knows about you. So how is that going to work? So after you come to that realization that one is going to be hard, you're going to have to make sacrifices. If you're comfortable in your 9 to 5, stay in your 9 to 5, because when you start a business, there is no such thing as 9 to 5. You probably wake up at 5 o'clock, go to bed at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning doing business.
Right.
You're going to actually put in more time working for yourself than you do working a 9 to 5. So that's one thing that you definitely have to consider. After that, you really got to be motivated to do your own research. What a lot of people do is they'll get into, let's say they want to start a t-shirt business, right? And they'll be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to throw some words on a t-shirt and I'm going to sell it. And it's going to make me millions. Can we curse on this podcast?
Did you not hear me?
Right,
it's called the Unapologetic mic
You're
check.
You're
You
right.
don't, there is no borders or censors here.
Yeah. So throw some shit on a t-shirt and it's going to sell. And the truth of the matter is, first of all, one, if no one knows about you, how are you going to make a sale? Mm-hmm. Two, do you even know who your target audience is?
Right.
Most people start a business being like, oh, everybody wants this.
Everybody don't want that shit.
You're destined to fail when you think like that.
Right.
Right. How much does it cost to make your good or to purchase your good?
Right. Your turnover ratio.
Right?
Yeah.
How much do you want to make per item you sell? Like, these are things you have to think about when you're starting a business and plan that out. Like, you really got to get down to the nitty gritty. Like, if you know that you got to ship stuff to different people in different states and different countries, you probably want to know how much, like, that weight, for that specific weight, how much it's going to cost to ship. Because if not, you're going to be paying for that out of your profit.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are going to, forget about that. So it's definitely, so research, planning, marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely need to get some marketing skills. And since we're living in 2021 and social media runs the world, stop clicking and following random people and start paying attention to what's working. Because literally all you have to do is find the popular Facebook, Instagram, Twitters, TikToks, all the different creators that are having decent engagement, 10K, 100K followers and everything else like that, and just pay attention to what they're doing with their hashtags and everything else like that.
Right.
Because it's crazy how many people are still not using social media to its advantage. Like, not using hashtags. It's like one of the key parts of the ecosystem that people aren't using. Then they wonder why their follower count ain't coming up. They'll like post like once every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, and everything else like that. So, those are the things that you really got to start considering and think about when you're starting a business. And then once you get there, then you want to start thinking about the legal side of it, right? Because I'm gonna be honest, when I started my business, I wasn't an LLC. I didn't even have a DBA.
Oh shit.
I was just myself, right?
Right.
And most of the time people were paying me in cash, so it didn't really matter, right?
Right.
To start off easy, and to be honest, sometimes you gotta jump in the water because that stuff costs money, and if you don't know what you're doing, you have to pay somebody to do that.
Right.
It just so happens that I'm a researcher and everything else like that. So pretty much all the paperwork I did for like any of my nonprofits or in my business paperwork, I figured out how to do it myself because I don't like spending money on things that I know how to do myself. But get started, do research. 9 times out of 10, LLC will suffice. But know a little bit about what that LLC encompasses, because a lot of people will get an LLC but don't file taxes right, didn't get their EIN number, not setting up a proper bank account.
That's the biggest mistake, yo. They'll start that shit up, and they just think that everything is covered as soon as you get that.
Yep.
They don't understand, like, yo, you do know you're going to have to pay taxes for this. Like,
Yep.
This isn't
money put in your pocket and be
right.
like,
Yeah,
no,
this ain't grandma selling water ice in the hood. Like, cause I'm gonna be real with you, that was so illegal, bro. Like, so illegal. But they were making money hand over fist, illegal as fuck. And they think that that's the type of mindset they're gonna take going into to selling it. Yeah. But what you gotta understand is what people gotta understand is if you stay. I mean, granted, you make a business with something people like change. When it comes to consuming, when it comes to the consumer, if they like your product, eventually they're going to get tired of your shit if it's completely the same. Yep. People who are invested like to see changes and growth in their investment. Just like stock. It's just like when you're at your job. If you feel as though that you're a good employee and you're doing your work, and you're making things flourish, you're going to want to raise. Or else, you may like your job, but you may feel like, well, shit, I done been here for a minute and I'm doing well. Like, we doing a lot better now, and I think I play a part in that. You're going to need to give me more money. That's the same thing when you're a business and people are consuming your stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I've had to change things with Mike Sale. Like, you were there. I started with just, what was it? Cantaloupe, honeydew, and strawberry. Yeah. Then I had to expand my whole thing because if I didn't, eventually people were going to stop buying my shit because not everybody likes cantaloupe.
Nope.
Not everybody likes honeydew.
Nope.
A lot of people love strawberry, but you got a vast amount of people who want like pineapple orange or mango or blueberry or peach. and things of that nature. And then, you got to think about how you're going to, is this just going to be a side hustle for you, or do you want to expand, expand your business? What kind of doors are you trying to open with said business? It's a lot of people get into trying to have their own business with just trying to make a quick buck.
Yep.
You want to make a quick buck, get a job working under the table, because
or Uber.
Or that part. You know what I'm saying? That part, which it can work for building your business or just giving you a little bit of extra cash. But it's kind of annoying to see, because you can make a quick buck if you just find your avenue. But if you try and make a business, this shit ain't for the faint of heart.
No.
You're going to fail more than you're going to fail before you really succeed.
What I found is that, I think, 2018 was like the year of entrepreneurship, where literally in everybody's bio, it was entrepreneur, entrepreneur, entrepreneur. But what a lot of people don't understand is entrepreneurship, is a word, but it's also a lifestyle.
Yeah. If
you don't have the hustle mindset, you ain't built for it, kid.
Tough luck, buttercup.
You're not built for it. Because a lot of people don't understand, like, it's stressful. You know how long it took me before I made my first 10K? It was a while. Years.
Yeah.
Right? Especially as a young black man coming from the city of Chester in a industry that isn't necessarily populated with people that look like me. The amount of people that you have to, like, convince that you actually have the ability to do what they're asking you to do, that takes time. And most of the time, it doesn't even just stick with my industry, which, of course, we never said it, but I'm a coder. I build stuff. I like to call myself the architect of the internet.
All right.
But don't be a hater. Don't try to shoot my shine.
Nah, man, do your thing, man. Do your thing.
But you're always going to have adversities. And if you're not one to, like, fight through that, have some of those nights where you eat noodles because you can't afford to go grocery shopping or order out and everything else like that, then stick with your 9 to 5 or drive for Uber.
Or Lyft.
Yeah, or DoorDash. One of those.
Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
or even you can use, and that's another thing. If you're thinking about starting a business, don't quit your day job, please. Please don't do that.
Please.
Like, until you have at least 6 months worth of expenses stocked away, and you know that you are making a reasonable monthly income that pays your bills.
Right.
Don't quit your job.
Don't quit your day job.
Like, there's a lot of top corporate people that are, like, giving out free advice about, like, starting a business and everything else like that. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I want to start a business, but I can't afford it. First of all, there is 24 hours in a day? How much of that time are you spending on your PlayStation or Xbox, watching Netflix and chilling, going out partying, sleeping? Those hours could be used on some other side gig, whether driving for an on-demand service or selling something that you know you can, like, have a quick turnaround to put money into the real business that you want to do.
Right.
Like, entrepreneurship is about creativity. Like, we ain't swimming in money, but money's out there.
Way too much.
So there's no excuses, right?
Right.
But just be smart about it.
And there's something I want to revisit something you just said. Shitheads quitting their day job because they want to start a business, not because they got a business going already and they like, all right, this is what I want to do fully. Motherfuckers will quit their job like, yeah, dog, this shit about to take off, and it just bang, like, that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting and I'm listening to them talk, right? And we'll catch up like a couple weeks later, month or two later. I'm like, yo, so how the business going, bro? How the business going? Well, It's doing all right. Oh, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a website or something? You got like a Instagram or anything like that? They don't even have that.
Nah, I'm still working on it.
Bruh.
What do you like? And then I'm like, so like you gonna try to go back to the other job or no? Well, nah, I can't really go. Did you give a 2 weeks notice? Nah, I just did.
Yeah.
I just did.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Not good look.
Yo. Like, if we hanging out and you tell me that,
I'm roasting you.
Nah, I ain't even gonna roast you. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna get with you. I'm gonna go home.
Yep.
Cause I'm not in the business of, especially people who look like us and do shit like that.
Yep.
It irritates me. It irritates me to the point where I'm pretty bothered on the drive home. Like, yo, nigga, you really quit your day job, and then you don't have a savings, bro. Nope. And please do not tell me that you one of them people that got the stimulus check and bought the scat pack. And you ain't got no savings. Nah. And now you want to have a job. Like, you want to have your own business. You quit your day job and you got the Hellcat. Yeah, you could burn a nigga from light to light, but your pockets is light.
Yeah, that's a light.
I'm talking like Chernobyl light.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gone. Your money gone just racing light to light in that car. And them bitches take premium. You ain't putting no regular unleaded in that Playboy. Like, and it's a Dodge. You asking for your head gasket to go if you putting anything less than premium and synthetic oil in your car. And you telling me you quit your job, your car note like 800 because your credit score is dick. And you telling me, yeah, man, this business about to take off. All right, what's your business plan? What's the idea? And you give me some nut ass idea, like you said, oh, I'm gonna sell t-shirts. Are you making the t-shirts? Oh, well, nah, I'm gonna just go ahead and design them Jones online with like one of the default templates. And I got, I play around on the Photoshop. Nigga, get out of here, yo. Go ahead, yo. Like, that's that type of shit. And then they don't even mention the basics. Like you said, EIN number. LLC, which brings me to another thing. Some people get an LLC and don't even know what type of LLC they supposed to be getting. What is it? I got here, it says single membership LLC, sole proprietorship, general partnership, family limited partnerships, series LLC, restricted LLCs, L3C company, anonymous LLC, member managed LLC, or manager managed LLC. First of all, that's a lot to just read, let alone knowing which one of these you need to go to. 9 times out of 10, most people just need the single member, John, right? But they'll look at all this other shit and they'll fuck around and pick a member managed LLC. Do you even know what that means? No. Like, do you even know what it entails? Do you even know what bracket it's going to put you in? Do you know what you need to achieve to maintain that? Nah, you just grabbing shit. Oh, well, I learned on TikTok. How did Florida Evans do? Damn.
Like I said about that research.
Yes,
a lot of people ain't willing to do it. And on top of that, sometimes you got to invest in yourself. Sometimes it's going to be hard because you like, okay, do I go grocery shopping or do I buy this course or do I buy a couple hours from this business person that's offering some time to like guide me through this process?
Warren Buffett is so altruistic with the advice that he gives about business, bro. Warren Buffett is a GOAT.
Yep.
I be seeing some of the things he be saying, like some of the, like interviews and shit, and he'll be talking to people, and he be giving game, like free game, bro. We talking like he could be making thousands of dollars off of a course for just an hour for the game that he gives in 15 minutes.
Giving it for free.
Stuff that I've applied myself. And, it's crazy because people who look like us probably don't even want to listen to somebody like Warren Buffett for obvious reasons. Mm-hmm. But I mean, look at Master P, bro. You don't want to look at Master P because you feel like you think his music was corny or whatever, then that's just stupid. But if you don't want to look at Master P and we talking about being up to par, up to snuff on the times, God rest his soul, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to a real one. Nip was giving free game for years. Mm-hmm. Rick Ross is always giving game. If that's where we want to take it.
But here's the thing. That always gets me when people don't want to take advice from people just because they don't look like you, or you pretty much saying that, oh, they don't come from the same struggle. Motherfucker, they don't need to. The fact of the matter is that truth is truth no matter who tells it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, instead of you watching your random ass TikToks and your Bad Girls Club and everything else like that, like, y'all really need to be listening to the people that are in the places that you want to be.
Yeah. Now, don't get it twisted. TikTok does give game.
Oh, definitely.
Examples, right? So, 13, 14 years old, right? Mm-hmm. We wasn't talking about getting accounts or savings bonds or anything like that. Like, we may have lucked up and our grandparents gave us one or something like that. Yeah. Yo, my cousin Zaya. So, we're at my mom's for Christmas, right? My aunt just hands her bread. And I'm looking like, she like, Merry Christmas. In my mind, I'm like, damn, that's kind of a crazy way to give a Christmas gift. No card or nothing, right? Mm-hmm. And Zaya's looking at it, and my aunt says, you said you wanted a capital gains account, right? I said, what? Pi, what you know about the capital gains tax?
Excuse me?
Oh, TikTok? I said, say what now? Mm-hmm. I ain't learned about the capital gains until I was almost out of high school, bro. Capital gains account? Mm-hmm. Bro, and I'm sure she's accumulating money at a rate right now because of the bread that's in that joint. And then on top of that, she has a hair business. Mm-hmm. She does hair and she be having people laid, bro. She reminds me of my sister, Andrea. Andrea had that mindset when we were little. It's crazy. So TikTok does kick game.
Yeah. So let me correct my statement.
Nah, you right.
About what you watch on them TikToks and YouTubes and everything else like that. Because literally, you can find just about anything on all these platforms. You can find a mentor on pretty much on almost all of these platforms. It's just about actually listening and spending time with that content instead of useless content.
Right.
That's the key. Because I know I follow a bunch of people on YouTube, and that's to, one, keep up in my industry because technology changes every day, right? On top of that, business owners. Like, I'm a big Gary Vee watcher. And the funny thing is like, I talked to a couple of people about him. He was like, oh, I don't like him. And I'm like, why don't you like him? Oh, he cursed too much. He cut people off. He ignorant. And I'm like, first of all, if you listen to what he's saying, like, it's not about how he delivers what he says.
Although
he can be brash sometimes.
Delivery
counts. But at the end of the day, he's one of those type of people that cuts through the bullshit.
Right.
And a lot of people, one of the big problems I say is in this world today is accountability and bullshit.
They go hand in hand.
Like, I don't want to hear about your excuses. If I ask you a question, give me the answer. I don't need to hear a whole roundabout story.
Straight,
and that's pretty much the way he delivers it. And he curses a lot. Oh, we have kids listening. They hear worse.
Real? What? Yes.
So I'm like, take knowledge wherever you find it. And you don't have to like blindly follow every little piece of information that you get, but every little piece of information is going to build an idea and a vision in your mind on how you want to be successful and build your success.
Right.
So it's like, it just put time into what matters.
And like you said, it's investing in yourself, yo. Mm-hmm. Investing in yourself, because the same motherfuckers that talk about wanting their own business, right, will be the same people who are, it'll be the same people who want to talk about getting a business and don't really lay the groundwork, don't do the footwork, you know what I mean, half-ass it, are the same people who make certain life choices just for themselves that have you scratch your head. Mm-hmm. It's like, you know, they'll spend mad bread to get bud and sit at home and just blow that shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Kids be in the crib and you just blowing heavy. You know what I'm saying? Or you blowing bread. Like, I'll see somebody at the bus stop in a pair of Balenciagas going through change. Mm-hmm. Bitching about how they mad they ain't got transfers no more. And I look down at the ground like, yo, I know them Jones was over $200. Mm-hmm. You could have took a quarter of the $200, bought a monthly pass for the bus, and been trying to build something or get a job, any kind of job. Mm-hmm. There's so many different jobs here because it ain't even like, it's not that cliche phrase that old people say to young people, get a job, you deadbeat. Yo, because there are more under the table paying jobs now than there were when we were younger. Mm-hmm. So it's about self-reflecting on what you really want, what you really want to do. Yep. If you see and making it, and it's a double-edged sword because it's a trend to want to have your own business. And some people are extremely successful and have lucrative businesses, but then everybody's always trying to ride the wave. Everybody's always trying to do what's hot, what's popular. Look, that's not the move, man. If you're not built for having your own business, and integrity plays a really big part in it. Mm-hmm. Having your own business will really test your integrity, like heavy. If you ain't got the stomach for it, if you ain't got the stomach for a 9-to-5, you don't have the stomach for your own business. No. Bro, with Mike's L, I used to be in the kitchen gathering my supplies and stuff up, and just something as simple as the mason jars used to drive me crazy. It wasn't getting it. It wasn't getting the orders. It wasn't getting them shipped. It wasn't grabbing the ingredients. It was something as simple as the mason jars, bro. Something as little as that not being available when you already got clientele waiting.
Produce that can go bad.
Yeah, produce that can go bad. And I'm telling people weeks, months ahead of time, like, all right, I'm about to start selling. Mm-hmm. One time, yo, it took me I gave people a heads up 2 months before I started making my harvest, my fall harvest mic sale. I gave people 2 months in advance, right? That I was going to start with the harvest, fall harvest, and I'll come to them, I'll let them know, all right, I'm about to sell them. Mm-hmm. I was telling them, yo, it's about that time. I'm about to start selling soon. If you got any orders or you got something you want, let me know and I'll come to you. Or when I come to you, let me know. Yo, it took me a month to get the amount of quart-sized mason jars that I needed. Form follows function. If you're not functioning properly, your form is going to be bad. Mm-hmm. Bad. It's like Captain Hook said in Once Upon a Time. When you messed up, it was great form. If you did a good job, that's what he would say. If you messed up, though, he'd chew you out for a minute, and then he'd be like, terrible form, Swan. Terrible form. Yeah. A lot of people ain't built for it, man. And I feel like we're so focused on, trying to do the right thing and giving credit where credit is due that we kind of skip on giving the advice, not necessarily the criticisms, but the advice. Because you can see that somebody's like, oh yeah, I got a business and I'm doing that. And you can see that they making mistakes. Mm-hmm. And you're so timid about how they're going to receive it that you don't even say nothing. Yep. And then when it fall through, you looking at them like, well, yeah, I knew,
Mm-hmm.
and you shrug it off. Like that's not how that worked, yo. Like if somebody's not built for it, right? You have ways of telling them without saying, look, you ain't built for this.
Mm-hmm.
That comes with the advice. That comes with asking questions about their said business.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people would fare better if they knew that they weren't built for it.
Exactly.
Instead of falling on their face, because when you fall on your face in something like this, it's kind of hard to recover.
Mm-hmm.
I done seen people's businesses fall through and they ain't never right. You know what I mean? And they just started.
But here's the thing. That right there shows you that, one, you're not built for it, because it's not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you get back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because here's the thing. That one business that you're working on might not be your thing, but that next idea might.
And another thing, people say, they got confidence and, they know they can do it, but people really don't bet on themselves. They bet on everybody else betting on them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I got the resources. I can do this. I got this person that can do this. I got this person that said they'll help me with this. But see, no. Before you even start your business, you have to bet on yourself like, yo, I know I'm going to fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I know I'm going to lose some bread here.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I know this customer's going to fall through. I may not be able to do this. I may not be able to do that. But you know what? This here mine.
Mm-hmm.
To quote the boy from the 2K, Denver Levens, this here mine. Like, that's what he used to say.
Yeah.
He betted on himself, yo. You got to have that mentality that this here is mine. I don't care if anybody else buys it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if anybody else thinks it's going to do anything. You have to know in your heart, in your soul, in your spirit, that this is what you want, that this is going to succeed no matter what. If you don't have that mindset that this is going to succeed, then you're not going to make it.
I'm going to tell you a story. First of all, I incorporated my company, Syncware Technologies, in 2014, right? And by this time, I had a day job. I actually was working in my career 9 to 5 and everything else like that. I did like little freelance stuff here and there under my name. I didn't even work in the company and everything else like that. And the company that I was working for was running me ragged and everything else like that. And then 3 years later down the line, out of nowhere, your time here has come to an end, right? And mind you, I pretty much was doing like freelance stuff here and there. And of course, in the back of my mind, I was always thinking about, I'm just getting 9 to 5, because I was just terrified to take the jump.
Yeah.
Right. And the funny thing was, one, I had a sigh of like relief, because I was like always anxious going into work and everything else like that. And the funny thing is, like, the business that I was starting is what I was doing every day, all day. And I packed up all my stuff that day. I went home. I talked to my mom, talked to my dad, and my mom was like really choked up and worried about me and everything else like that. My dad was like, "So what you gonna do?" Now, my dad's been working for himself for like over 30, 40 years.
At that time, this time, right?
Mm-hmm. So he had multiple businesses, selling women's clothes. He was Mike's Water Ice. If you're from Chester, you know.
Oh, yeah. That was your dad?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, shit.
And all that. So, like, he was just like, so what you going to do? Like, we ain't crying about it. It's like, get another job or just figure it out. Right?
Don't be a bitch, baby.
So, exactly. So, because, he ain't pull punches.
Yeah.
So, I pretty much sat about it and was like, you know what? Fuck it. Well, I'm going to go get another job. Literally, I'm making my bosses millions of dollars from the skills that I have. Because, mind you, most of the time, like, I was the only coder working on a project. And these wasn't cheap projects. So, I did that, right? So, I was like, you know what? I'm just, I already have the company incorporated. Because by this time, that company was supposed to be like an R&D company coming up with inventions and shit. I was like, no, I'm just throw it under that. And I'm not gonna lie, I have major imposter syndrome. Like, and that's more so in the coding world. It's just like you've been doing it for so long, but you always feel like you don't know enough, right? But I just like dived in, and literally the first year, I didn't make that much money. For the first year, I was mostly living on unemployment, right? Got a project here, got a project there. It took me a while before I even raised my prices because I was like undervaluing myself. But like literally, I think right now, running Synkware full time, I think I've been doing it for 6 years now. Since and what was it 2018? I literally went through an entire year. I didn't make $1.
Sheesh.
But the good thing is I had a woman behind me, like supporting me, taking care of everything. But like literally the following year, because I stayed at it, I stayed working on my website. I stayed working on how I talk to people. I stayed working on how I networked with people and everything else like that. And it pretty much people just started piling in. Hey, I heard you know how to do this. I'm like, yeah, I can do that.
Uh-huh.
And the funny thing is, most of the time, I probably didn't know how to do that, but I figured it out.
Right.
That's the key things.
You
like,
bet it on yourself.
You got to bet on yourself. And it's like now it's just like when anybody comes to me asking for business and everything else like that, I don't pull punches. If you know me, I'm not one of those people that like try to like save your feelings. Like I'll think about the delivery, but at the end of the day,
unapologetic.
I have to tell you exactly what I wish somebody would have told me when I started out, and I'm gonna deliver it the way my dad would deliver it, because it's like fuck your feelings. They don't equate here. Like, oh, you want to start a business? You need to do this. Oh well, I was thinking maybe we could partner and everything else. I don't partnership with anybody, by the way. We don't do partnerships over here. Tried it 3 times, didn't work out.
Right.
Because people don't have that work ethic like I do. But at the end of the day, I need a business plan.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you ask me to help you build a business. I need a business plan. I need you to do research on how much it costs for your goods, how much you're selling it for. Actually, give me a financial model.
Yeah, I was about to say, give you a financial model with projections and everything.
I want to see that you're serious about it. Because I had a couple of family members that were like, oh, I'm really thinking about doing this business and I need help and everything else like that. And I'm like, okay, you got a business plan? No, I don't know how to do that. I'm like, there's this like nice tool called YouTube. Because that's how I learned, right? Give me a business plan. Next time I'm around, I talk to him.
No business plan.
I don't have a business plan. I don't know how to do it. I'm just like,
bro,
okay,
we've been here before.
I was like, bet. Boom. I don't take you serious. And I tell people straight up, like, if I don't see that you're taking serious, I'm not helping you. Like, I will give, I'm by no means an expert at anything. I'm still learning how to run my own business and everything else like that. But I've made a lot of mistakes that I can help you avoid.
Making the same ones you made.
Exactly. If you listen and do what you need to do. A lot of people aren't willing to do what they need to do, which is why the term entrepreneur has taken a nosedive. Like, you talk to anybody and be like, yeah, so I'm an entrepreneur. They'll, okay.
Yeah, everybody's an entrepreneur now.
Yeah.
Like
people put that in the bio. I see it in people's dating profiles. I'm like, what does that even mean?
Is that supposed to be like, is that
a flex?
Right, that's swipe left. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, like, no, yeah, it's definitely something that it takes a lot of chutzpah. You know, it takes a lot of moxie, man. You gotta have the jewels. Mm-hmm. You gotta have the jewels. And
sometimes that depression is real. I'm just saying.
Yo, that's boy. Who you telling? Like, it gets real, and you know, having a good supporting cast helps too.
Definitely.
If you trying to start a business and you're like literally solo dolo, it's gonna be real rough. If you don't have a supporting cast at all, and that may just be like a homeless man that sees you every day and is like, yeah, you doing your thing, young blood. You doing your thing, man. Exactly. You living the dream, man. Like just
that one person.
That one person can help you, and it's like.
Because let's be honest, your friends and family, they won't be, most of the time, they're not going to be the first ones to support you. That's just the
Hey,
truth.
yo, and it's crazy that you say that because my family is huge on supporting each other, but it wasn't like they wasn't trying to give the bread up or nothing like that. It's just you get a quicker response from not your family. And I only think it's because that mindset that, I mean, we're related. Like, I don't got to immediately buy it from you because you right there. I'll buy it later. But
and some of them know who you is. So
right. Yeah, they figure, all right, you know what I mean? Let's not even talk about how they want to get the discounts. Yeah.
We ain't going to talk about that.
I mean, you got family members want to get the discount. When I say discount, I mean for the free 99. Like, nah, my nigga, denied. Your card here is, your family card is denied right here. We're not doing free 99. Thankfully, my family doesn't do that. You know what I'm saying? My family will throw extra bread in. But it's, you know, you definitely do get a quicker response from people who aren't your family. And maybe even you get a quicker response from people who are acquaintances. You know what I mean? Because they may just be trying to struggle. They're struggling just like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I want to talk about the exchange of the black dollar while we got a couple minutes. I mean, I know it's going to be a grip. It's going to be long, but
fun stuff. The
exchange of the black dollar, that plays a really big part in startups for people like us. Because honestly, it's we're in a predominantly black area when we start. And it's kind of hard to venture out when you don't even have any revenue coming from where you are.
Now, are we going to be like unapologetic here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we already know that literally the black dollar, not even 15 minutes in the community before it leaves, right?
Right.
I'm usually torn when we have these conversations because it's not the first time having a conversation about like black people supporting black people and everything else like that, because it's one of those, like, it's conditional, right? Because on one hand, you do get the thing where you've done everything right and the people around you are like, they see your pricing and they're like, oh, I can get this up the street for like $10, but you selling it for $20. That don't make no sense, right? Right. But but the funny thing is that most of the other stores that they going in, they purchase way larger bulk, right?
For the cheap.
And they can afford to sell things cheaper.
Right.
If I'm just starting off, I probably buy like 100 units when they probably buying tens of thousands of units, which is why they can sell it for like $10 less and everything else like that, because they're going to make more profit. But a lot of people, they'll complain about your pricing and like not even put that thought in there. So it's like, hold on, let me get back on track for my thought. So because I was going somewhere with it.
Yeah, I saw you.
Yeah. So yeah, you have that side that's a problem. But then you also have the side where like the people that start a business and don't have the research and everything else like that, and they're just like randomly doing it, and they're taking advantage and getting upset because it's like, oh, just because we look like we're supposed to spend money, but you open up at 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh man, listen,
9 o'clock.
Listen, yes,
everybody else, right?
Yes, that right there, yo, that conversation that causes division, because it's like you on both sides of the track. You got people like, yeah, man, you know, we need to start supporting each other more. And you know what I'm saying? You go ahead and go support them and they don't even put back into the hood or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you're like, all right, well, you know what? Fine. Motherfuckers will be like, yo, man, you could do that. Yo, like, I'd buy that. All right, bet. But then they don't support you. Or you figure, well, you know what I mean? They said they're going to support me, so I'll just be around. And you open it at like 1 p.m. Bruh, what? The Koreans done opened the store at like 6. They done already met the amount of money that they were supposed to meet at the end of the day, and it's only noon. And you just getting out of bed?
Yep.
yo, it's a mixed bag of nuts being a black entrepreneur.
That's why I say it's a tough conversation because you can't be like rah rah rah. I'm for my peoples all the time because we gotta be honest and accountability. Because like I said before, one thing the society is missing is accountability, right?
An initiative.
Like it is a problem that like we are so quick to spend our money elsewhere instead of someone that you see is like up and growing and everything else. Whenever I see a kid on the street selling waters, candy, or anything else like that, most of the time I don't even want the shit. You know what I do?
Just donate.
Here's $20.
Yeah.
That's for you. Because I like your hustle because you could be doing anything else.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's that right there that and some people who are young that start up businesses, they still, you know what I mean, they're selling to their peers who have like minds. Mm-hmm. So, you know, they're bringing in revenue. Yep. But when it comes to kind of reaching out to older people, they're kind of apprehensive because I mean, look at how we act.
Yeah.
With people our same age and trying to support each other. They don't want to be bothered with that. So when you say things like, yeah, yo, let me get an order of this. Yo, like, let me know when you're ready. They kind of think you bullshitting because they see it happen so much. Like the one girl at my job, shout out to Mish, by the way. Like she has her own clothing line. And it's not just a regular clothing line. You know, it's like she got the hijabs. Mm-hmm. And it's called Traor Couture. Yo, I don't even wear sweatsuits, bro. I'm like, yo, let me get a sweatsuit. Like her whole logo, her whole clothing line embodies who she is as a person, just how it's designed and how it's modeled. Yeah. I'm like, yo, like, and I think she thinks I'm bullshitting when I say I want to buy it. Like, yo, what's up with it? Like, let me buy it. I'll buy my mom one. I'll buy my fiance, sister, grandmom.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll buy Andrea one of them Jones. Like, I'm so this piece. Yeah, real right, because it's good quality. That's another thing. They do their research and they create good quality stuff. But there's a line. There's a blockade there somewhere. Mm-hmm. There's a disconnect. And, you know, being a business owner in general is already hard, but then being a black business owner, it's like a catch-22, man, because you want to build for yourself. You want to be better, and then you want to help your community, but your community sometimes don't want to help you because they don't want to help themselves. So it's cyclical, man. And
I can count on one hand how many people that look like me actually hired me.
Yo, you want to know what's crazy? I can count on one finger. That's hard.
Yeah.
Maybe two. I'll take it back. Two. But I mean, again, you know, we being unapologetic and we being real. We not coming at our people. No. But it's accountability. Like, if you take a look at it, man, and you listen to people like Warren Buffett and Mark Cuban, yo, they blunt. Mm-hmm. They real. On Shark Tank, they real as shit. Mm-hmm. They hold no punches. And them motherfuckers don't take it. Some of them do, but a lot of them take it as a lesson. Yo, we the only ones that get pissed when somebody tries to give you true criticism to help you out.
Mm-hmm. You're a hater.
Yeah, yo, you just talking shit. You ain't even trying to see it my way. But what is your way exactly? Mm-hmm. What's your way? You not even fully invested in yourself. How you expect somebody to invest in you when you ain't even invested in yourself? Exactly. Oh, I put the money in. I got all this, but you not investing in you, not the business, you. Mm-hmm. I can't believe that you want to sell me something when you can't even believe it yourself. You just trying to make a quick buck.
Yeah.
And that shit gotta stop. Like, do your research, know your limits, know your lane. If you can't do it, don't do it. There ain't nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. If you really want to make bank, go to college or go to a trade school. A lot of people that don't want to start their own business or work for somebody else, go to a trade school. Then eventually they probably end up
Your own business.
Having their own business because of that trade. Because of the amount of work they do is so good.
Mm-hmm. But on the other side of the whole black dollar thing, don't let that shit distract you or like discourage you, because at the end of the day, it's hard to say this, but your people is going to be less likely to support you. So if that's your target audience, you might fail.
But if your target audience is your people, mm-hmm. and you feel like they're not about to support you, before you go somewhere else, think about why they may not want to be supporting you.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is, like, when I say target audience, like, I know people from like my city that literally start a business and like they're like, oh, Chester is my target audience, and I'm like, you sure? You sure you want to go that way? Because at the end of the day, one, you have to look at the demographics. The product that you're selling, one, is it already being sold there? Is it actually selling? If it is
it different?
Right? And how many of those people do you personally know that you can like have a one-on-one conversation with to actually sell to them?
Yeah, man.
Like we got to start being honest with ourselves with where we're going with things, and like not automatically expect that, oh, our people are going to be the first ones that support us, because it's at the end of the day, like, it's not. Because like I told you, I can count on one hand the people that look like me that actually hired me. Most of the time, people think that I'm trying to get over on them when I tell them my price for an app or a website. They look at me and laugh. Like, literally, they're like, "You people actually pay that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Because if you look at Google, because that's another great tool, right? That's how much it costs. And just because I'm doing the work myself and I don't have like 100 people behind me that I'm paying to do the work, which is about to change anyway. But
that's news.
About I'm doing the work and everything. I was like, that doesn't change the fact that that's how much this costs. I'm not gonna belittle myself because you can't afford me. Just say that.
And that is betting and investing in yourself. That's that love. That's that love for yourself to step out on that ledge and take the leap. But in closing, I want to thank you for coming on, because it's been something that, you know, we've talked about, or some things that Shauna and I talk about, things that I think about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, you know what? Like, I'm about to get on here with this podcast, and I'm gonna hurt some feelings, but at the same time, like, I'm on here to also, you know what I mean, educate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People got questions.
Help, not hurt.
You know what I mean? People got questions. So I figure, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm going to dig in your ass while I'm on here, but I'm going to also show love and I'm going to help you out. Like, I hope that, you know, anybody watching or listening, you picked up something from this, because, I mean, real recognize real, and it's about as real as it gets. Because being unapologetic, you that's when you're real yourself. So I'm going to be real with you. If you ain't got the stomach for it, stay at your job. Stay in your lane. Do not call yourself an entrepreneur when all you really trying to do is have a side hustle. That's not entrepreneurship.
I'll make a quick one.
Yeah, that's not entrepreneurship. But love your life fully and live your life full of love. Marcus, thank you for coming out, man. I appreciate it, homie. Thank you for tuning in. It's your boy Mike. This is the Unapologetic Mic Check. Peace.